Again, just to recap or summarize, some of the things that this allows you to do is allows your younger players to gain some confidence, to really have a clear role. Again, if I'm a younger guy that hasn't played that much, right, knowing that my job is to play defense, get the ball to the attack, and then pay attention and listen to what they tell me to do, makes everything much easier. I don't have to really think that much. And then clarifying roles to all players as well. It allows them to play fast. Those players that you have that you're depending on, if they know this is my job, right? These are the 3 things that I have to do really well. They can really focus on those things and do them as well as they possibly can. But if you try to give one kid the responsibility of the whole team, it can get really tough. Develop strengths. And then the last one's big. As guys move up, they can learn those roles very quickly because those roles are clearly defined. Right? It's like a business or anything. Right? You start off at the bottom and you climb the corporate ladder. As a freshman or a sophomore, you might be a midi. Right? You might be one of those guys that on offense, you're just setting picks, you're just cutting. That's it. Right? But your junior year after a big summer, you might come back, right, and be more of a two-way midi, more of a box attack type player. Or you might be on that power line middies where you're playing a little bit of everything. Right? So it allows guys to really step up into those roles and know what those roles are when that happens. Last one, I think. Yeah, so here's my contact info. If you have any questions or anything, that's there. This is a really beautiful Swiss city, and my wife took a really artistic picture of me and my son, so just throw that on there. But yeah, does anybody have any questions?
Hey, can you talk a little more about how you train your LSMs up in the box?
I think the biggest thing is that I had them do stick work. All of our players do stick work together, right? So even our low defenders, right, the guys that are playing attackmen, I have them do stick work with the middies all the time.
Well, do you, like up there, did you have them working out, you had your, I think you had most of your guys, 75% of your team doing offensive work? Are they local?
Well, the middies would do 75% defense and transition. But I put those LSMs in there with the middies, right? So when the middies would come down and work on cutting and finishing, the LSMs would do that as well, right? So I treated my LSMs as if they're middies, right? So they had a longer stick, but they were technically called middies.
Were you teaching multiple, were they shooting a lot, or were they just beating?
Not from the outside, inside, right? So they would work on catching, face dodging, and finishing, or catching, faking, and finishing, right? Those little things as opposed to catch at 18 and time her. I didn't want them to ever take shots like that, right? But I did want them to be able to run the slow break and maybe do a give and go with an attack, right? Or run the slow break, and if nobody came to pick them up, get their stick up and finish down and play, right? So I did, I really, exactly like what Scott was saying, tried to give them the green light as much as possible. And I love what he said about swallowing the whistle. I was kind of forced to do that because most of the guys on the team don't speak that great of English, right? So it was like, if I blow the whistle and try to explain stuff, they just look at me like, what are you saying, right? So I'd give them, the drill, what we're focusing on, why we were focusing on it, and then I'd let them take it over. And one of the things that's great about coaching a club team like that is they're adults, right? So they can handle a little bit more. They're much more motivated to do well. They're all paying their own way. So the guys that I found to be captains, I would actually, my attack, for instance, I would teach a drill to my attack, an offensive drill, and then when the middies came down to join us, I'd have the attack teach them, right? Because that way they're learning it even better, and it's being explained to the middies in their own language and all that. So we would drill that. We would drill that. So I'd have my defense out there, and we'd make it a clearing drill and also just a box substitution. So I'd have my defense clearing, and I'd only have 4 attackmen out there. And I'd have them, even just running around in a circle around the crease. And I'd throw the ball out there somewhere, and whoever was closest to the box needed to get that way. We always want ball pressure, so one guy would put ball pressure on immediately, and the other 2 would get back to the restraining line to help stop the break.
that might have been partially what I was asking. But when you're going from defense back to offense, you said your LSM is stretching the field, 2 middies are going. So that means a short defense.
My 2 middies always go away from the box.
Right. So that means a close defender is subbing out.
Yeah.
So is there a set rule when you're bringing that box attackman in as to who stays back then? Does the box attackman come back on the defensive side?
My 2 middies, if this is the field, right? Box is over here. My middies rule is you want to cut to the wing line, where the wing line meets the midfield line. Mm-hmm. You want to cut there unless you can see the other guy. Right, so the first guy is cutting there. If the other guy sees his back, he's hitting it short, and he's stopping at the restraining line to the sideline. So he's always going to be on sides. So when that defender gets out, that box attackman is free to go. Unless he sees that low guy got it and is carrying over, then he's got to learn to get back.
Okay.
But yeah, we definitely have to work that a lot. But yeah, I'd rather get the ball to my box attackman in transition than to my midi in transition.
Sure. And then who comes back on? Who comes off then for the pole to go back on?
The long stick midi.
So he eventually works his way
so
back out.
Eventually, as we're clearing, right, and the long stick midi is going to work back as that midi comes over.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so they kind of work in like a seesaw type of fashion.
Thanks.
Any other question?
Hey, 5 minutes, or do you want to start right away?
Let's give these guys 5. Is that
5 minutes, and then we'll get started early. We'll get out early. Okay.
Go?
Apparently not. Whatever. Herding cats.